You have heard this one. A microwave oven works by blasting your food with the exact resonant frequency of water. It is on quiz shows, it is in textbooks, it is easily the most repeated fact about the machine sitting in your kitchen right now. And it is wrong. Not slightly off, wrong. What is actually happening in there is stranger and honestly a lot cleverer. To see why, start with the water molecule itself. It is not a neat little ball. It is lopsided. One big oxygen atom with two small hydrogens stuck on the same side, like ears. And that crooked shape leaves one end of the molecule slightly negative and the other end slightly positive, which means every drop of water in your leftovers is packed with what are effectively tiny compass needles. Give them something to point at, and they will turn. And that is exactly what a microwave oven hands them. Tucked in the side of the box is a tube called a magnetron, and it floods the whole chamber with an electric field that flips direction back and forth about 2.5 billion times every single second. Every one of those tiny compass needles tries to keep up. Twist one way, twist back, twist one way, twist back, billions of times a second. Now here is the part that actually matters. Picture a packed dance floor. Everyone is shoulder to shoulder, and a spotlight keeps swinging from one wall to the other, and everybody keeps turning to face it. On a floor that crowded, nobody can turn without elbowing the person next to them. That elbowing, that constant clumsy jostling, is the heat. The energy does not go into the water and stay there. It gets spilled into everything around it as plain, disordered bumping. Physicists call this dielectric heating. Your leftovers just call it hot. And notice what that means. Nothing about this is special to water. Anything lopsided enough to twist in an electric field will do the same thing. Fats do it, sugars do it, which is why the pastry comes out pleasantly warm while the jam inside comes out as molten lava, and why a pat of butter goes from solid to a puddle in about 9 seconds. Your microwave is not a water-seeking missile. It heats whatever is willing to turn. So where did the resonance story even come from? It came from somewhere reasonable. Resonance is real famous physics. Find an object's favorite frequency, push it in perfect time, and the energy stacks up until something dramatic happens. It is the opera singer holding the one note that shatters the wine glass. It sounds exactly like what an oven should be doing to your soup. So everybody assumed that is what it does. The trouble is, the numbers do not work. Water's real rotational resonance sits somewhere above 1 terahertz. Your microwave oven runs at 2.45 gigahertz. That is hundreds of times too low. This is not a near miss, not a rounding error, not close enough. The oven is nowhere near water's favorite note. It is not even in the same building. And now, the twist that makes this genuinely delightful. Even if engineers could build an oven tuned to water's true resonance, they would refuse to, because a frequency that water is brilliant at absorbing is a frequency that never survives past the first millimetre of your dinner. Every bit of the energy would get dumped straight into the surface. You would open the door to a scalding hot skin wrapped around a stone-cold middle. Which means the oven is doing the exact opposite of what everyone believes. That frequency was chosen because water is comparatively bad at absorbing it. The weak absorption is the whole feature. It lets the waves survive the journey deep into the food instead of getting eaten at the door. Your microwave is not tuned to water's strength. It is engineered around water's weakness. So why that number exactly, and not something a bit higher or lower? Honestly, mostly paperwork. It sits inside a slice of the radio spectrum that regulators set aside for heating things rather than for talking to each other, so an oven can blast away without stomping all over somebody's phone call. Pick roughly this frequency, weakly absorbed and easy to generate, and the thing works. The precise number is a licensing decision wearing a lab coat. which quietly kills a second myth that microwaves cook from the inside out. They do not. Even at this forgiving frequency, the waves only really reach a centimeter or two into your food. Everything deeper heats the slow, old-fashioned way, by conduction, warmth crawling inward from the outside. A microwave is not a magic core heater. It is an extremely fast outside-in cooker, which is exactly why the edges of a big frozen block are already bubbling while the middle is still ice. And if you really want to find something in that machine that genuinely is resonating, stop looking at the food and look at the box. Microwaves bounce off those metal walls and interfere with themselves, building a fixed three-dimensional pattern of hot spots and dead spots frozen in the air, standing waves, exactly like the humps on a plucked guitar string. The only reason your dinner heats at all evenly is that a turntable slowly drags it through that pattern. The resonance inside a microwave oven is a property of the room, never of the water. Which is fitting, because nobody designed this thing from the physics up anyway. In 1945, a radar engineer named Percy Spencer stood a little too close to a running magnetron and noticed the chocolate bar in his pocket had gone soft. He tried popcorn next. It went everywhere. 2 years later, his company was selling a 6-foot-tall, 750-pound cooker for $5,000. And the tidy story about resonant frequencies got invented afterwards to explain a happy accident. So next time somebody tells you your microwave is tuned to water, you can tell them the truth. It is tuned to be ignored by it. If you like the feeling of the world getting a little less mysterious, subscribe. One complex idea made simple every week.